Did you know there's a storm drain right there underneath your feet?
Yeah.
And any trash that you guys put on the ground during lunch can end up in that storm drain, and then where is it going to end up?
In the ocean. And we don't want animals to die.
Today is a special day at Point Dume Marine Science School. Students are learning how water may transport pollutants left on roads and outdoor areas into the ocean. This mixture of water and human contributions, including car oil, cleaning products, pet waste, trash, fertilizer, and pesticides, is called urban runoff. The city of Malibu is working to increase awareness about urban runoff, which inspired this partnership between the city and local schools.
We are going along with learning about things for the watershed, and the students know really a lot about storm drain runoff, and it's very important because they have great solutions to some of these problems that we just don't even think about that happen every day just around Malibu.
The city's program highlights an area of biological significance, or ASBS, the name given to part of Malibu's coast that is protected by the state due to the unique variety of aquatic life. All pollution is prohibited in the ASBS. The most common source of pollution is urban runoff, and the city is doing all it can to educate residents and visitors on how to prevent pollution from reaching the ASBS.
I think the protected areas will help save the environment.
The program features activities and lesson plans for students in each grade level. On this special day, kindergartners and first graders learn about the storm drain system and spray paint no dumping signs next to the drains on school campus.
You did the two.
I did the fish.
The signs are a visual reminder to keep the area free of potential pollutants, especially trash.
When water enters a storm drain, like this one right here, the water is immediately transported to the ocean without treatment. So the storm drain system succeeded in preventing flooding in our cities, but it created this new avenue for pollutants to reach the beach. And this happens when the water that flows into the storm drain system picks up pollutants on its way there. And this is the main source of pollution into the Santa Monica Bay. But there's a lot we can do about it, and it just requires all of us to take little steps in the right direction.
Second graders study pollution solutions. They are tasked with identifying a potential pollution source, explaining how it could end up at the beach, and determining how it might be harmful to the ASBS and local water bodies. Most importantly, the students offer a preventative pollution solution for the Malibu community.
There was this dog and he took all his dog treats and he ate them, and then he started pooping. And then it started raining, and the rain was like pushing it into the ocean. And one of these kids were running in the ocean, and they stepped in the dog poop and got sick.
So how would you prevent the dog poop from getting in the ocean?
Cleaning it up in bags, like I do with my little puppy.
The pollution is soapy water. It comes from washing your car, and it's harmful. It can make the animals sick. And the solution is always wash your car in a car wash. Done.
Third graders roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty to learn about the role played by wetlands in the watershed.
So a watershed is an area of land that all drains to the same body of water. So here in Malibu, when it rains, the water runs down the Santa Monica Mountains, enters the streams and creeks. Some of it runs over paved areas, and it all ends up here at the ocean. And that's our watershed. So the students at Point Dume are learning about the storm drain system. And the storm drain system is part of our urban watershed. And basically, when it rains, a lot of the rain hits paved surfaces, and the water rapidly moves down the streets, enters a storm drain, and the storm drain system functions just like an artificial stream and brings that water straight here to the beach as well.
Wetlands help prevent urban runoff from reaching the beach. They slow the flow and filter out some pollutants. These pans contain soil and a sponge, which emulate the role of wetlands when water is poured over them.
Wetlands absorb and slowly release water.
If we had no wetlands, then all of the water wouldn't get filtered, and it would all rush down to the ocean.
Fourth graders gather around a watershed model to learn about the pollutants that may be mobilized by urban runoff or stormwater. Using spray bottles to emulate rain, they demonstrate how the pollution moves from the land into the ocean.
I can't surf after the rain because like all the runoff and the pesticides and all the fertilizer comes into the ocean, and then like I can't surf because it's all dirty and stuff, and I could get sick.
I would like to say just to like not put too much pesticides on plants or fertilizer, because if it rains, then it all washes down to the ocean. And if there's too much fertilizer in the water, in the ocean, then the plants will get too big, like the kelp, and then it'll take out all the oxygen out of the water. We have a compost club for not using fertilizer. We take our food that we don't eat and we put it in the composter, and then that turns into our soil to plant stuff.
It's easy to see that pollutants don't discriminate. They will hitch a ride with anything willing to take them down a drain to the beach.
One of the ways that a lot of chemicals go into the ocean is when people water their garden. When it flows off of your yard, it mixes in with all the chemicals, and then it goes into a storm drain and goes into the ocean. So you want to make sure that you don't overwater your yard, so you could prevent that from happening.
Fifth graders test the pH of household products to determine if they would alter natural water quality in the ASBS. The ocean has a unique chemistry, so even things that don't seem toxic may alter natural water quality.
Testing pH is important because chemicals wash up into the ocean, which kill our animals, which means that we won't have fish to eat, and it's causing diseases on us when we eat the fish that have died from the chemicals. Also, it is dangerous for most of our wildlife, ocean animals. So it is important that we test pH because we can find out which chemicals are safe for the ocean and which aren't.
We tested the pH scale, and one of the products that we tested were soap, and we realized that it wasn't very good for the wildlife in the ocean, and a lot of the times people wash their cars on the street and soap runs off into the storm drains and gets into our ocean. And there are a lot of really easy solutions to help that problem, and a few of them are contain the water that you use, or go to a car wash if your car needs to be washed because they reuse their water, or wash your car on a surface where the water will soak in. And those are really easy things that you can do to help.
Many people don't make the connection that even so-called green cleaning products that claim to be pH balanced and environmentally friendly do not belong in the ocean.
If you have like a chlorine or saltwater pool, you shouldn't let it go into storm drains. You should truck it to a water facility or something like that, and they can treat it and make it so it's like filtered.
Storm drains are made for rain, but they're not made for the bad waters. They're infected with fertilizers, pesticides, and soil. And what we should do to stop it is to make a gate system that only allows fresh rainwater in.
Charles' suggestion was right on, and the cool thing is the city is currently seeking funding to install screens on all the storm drains in Malibu, which would keep the trash out, just like he was saying. And we also have a couple projects going on in Point Dume and Broad Beach to put filtration systems into the storm drains, which will clean the water before it reaches the beach.
Students certainly remind us when it's time to rekindle that sense of adventure, get outside, and get inspired.
I love fish. They're beautiful.
When I get older, I want to invent an electric jet ski, an electric boat, things like that, sort of like an electric car, so no oil goes into the ocean and kills animals.
Whether you dream big or start with small changes, every action makes a difference. With young environmental stewards helping to monitor and actively protect our area of special biological significance, environmental preservation will remain a top priority for the City of Malibu. For Malibu City News, I'm Olivia Damavandi.